So Joe, that's the only thing that you was right.
Of course I was right. I'm always right, my nigga. So here's the thing, right? Philly is.
You was right, Joe.
She feeling saucy, I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece, up in the 30. They tryna hold me, she like Curry. They feeling salty, I'm feeling sturdy.
So apparently, your man's what's his name? Carson Wentz. He's officially a Indianapolis Colt. A trade happened where they just sent a conditional first or second round pick based off of his performance.
Drink some drink to that.
Yeah. Wait a second. It won't be official until July, though, right?
I believe
It's
so.
on the moratorium or whatever.
Yeah. So
What's
how
the
do we
biggest
feel about
story in that?
how we feel about Carson Wentz becoming a Indianapolis Colt and how the Eagles got rid of him?
I told you.
Did they send the other guy over there?
No, they didn't send anybody.
Phillip Rivers retired.
picks. Yeah, Phillip Rivers gone. Rivers left.
Yeah. He knew it. We knew it.
Yeah. Another I told you. So I don't know. I'll speak on it.
So Joe, that's the only thing that you was right.
Of course I was right. I'm always right, my nigga. So here's the thing, right? Philly is.
You was right, Joe. You was right 20 episodes later, but you was right.
Goes right eventually.
Season 2 over. I can't wait to make this compilation. But yeah, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, so Philly is they're in a bad way right now, man, and it's tough. You have the architects of your Super Bowl run, your magical run, your first one, right? You know what I'm saying? These people are supposed to be legends in the city of brotherly love forever, and now they're all gone.
They're assholes, bro.
You know what
They
I'm
was
saying?
not supposed to. They was supposed to let him go the first time and keep Nick Foles and ride that wave. That's what they should have did.
Well, it's really hard when you have somebody as talented as he showed up until that point. Just walk.
No, it wasn't. It was just fundamentally a decision about assets and liability. That nigga was getting hurt. He wasn't getting hurt. He was playing good in big games. He wasn't. That's assets versus liability. They should have fucking tossed him. He was young. They could have probably got more for him back then. So, hey, he's gone now. So ultimately, that was the move to make.
See, I don't know if that's really. It's easy to judge in 2020, right? But there's no way we could have known back then. They lost 2 games with this guy, and then they go on to win the Super Bowl. Like, come on, there's no way. There's no way they could have known.
All right, okay.
Well, he got hurt.
Listen, yeah.
It got worse. They lost people. It just wasn't the same.
But Joe, let me ask you this one thing: what's the worst that could have happened going into the following season if you keep Nick Foles?
Nick Foles could show you what he's shown you up until that point in his career. Nothing.
So the next season, Nick Foles didn't throw decent?
No, he didn't actually.
Okay. All right.
Well, Nick Foles
Obviously not enough if they didn't repeat the success that they had the following.
He had like a couple good early years where he threw like 6 touchdown passes, but
I think he had a pretty okay year.
It hasn't translated really.
And he always had the chirping of Carson was coming back in the back every time he fucking threw a ball for the Eagles. So that doesn't help you persevere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then we're talking about mentals, right? I'm just talking about performance. Man, you could say all we want.
He won a Super Bowl, and that's going to be history and a fact forever.
But you know
Nick Foles, where you going?
What's really funny that you bring that up, though. I'm glad you did, because I'm not a huge fan of Carson Wentz. In fact, I have a couple of buddies in Philly who are just totally irrational about just the Philadelphia Eagles in general, just how they view it. And so I would ask them all the time, yo, Carson is playing really, really bad this year. And they just had every single excuse in the world. But now that everything...
Philly like that. You know why Philly like that? Let's get to the real facts. For the same reason why they don't want to give McNabb his flowers never.
Shit. You already know it's your main man, Mr. Keys. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Prolific Culture. Make sure you go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes.
Because he was never good. That's why. He was never good. Bro, like, come on.
You saying McNabb was never good?
All right, so here...
Never good. So
I don't even want to address that shit because Donovan McNabb is just a petty ass nigga for no reason, and he doesn't deserve to have that shit fucking fleshed out. Because
shout out to Donovan McNabb, and guess what? Carson Wentz ain't no fucking Rocky Balboa.
Yeah,
So
you
guess
know what?
what?
All right.
Send his ass to fucking
So let's
Mountain.
shout out to Chunky Soup.
let's talk about these two quarterbacks real quick before we move on. So Donovan McNabb, definitely potential Hall of Famer. He could definitely get there.
He'll make it in at some point.
Numbers wise, Donovan McNabb has completed 59% of his passes in his career. He's thrown for 37,276 yards. He has 234 touchdowns to 117 interceptions.
Yeah, I want the record to reflect that their stats here, they're not going to add up equally.
And his quarterback record is 98 wins, 62 losses, and 1 draw. I think that's pretty good, solid stats. That's not bad stats at all. And he's thrown, I already said 234 touchdowns. So, yeah, I mean, you look at it, he's averaged about 3,000 yards every year he was in the league, except for his last and his first year. And he's always thrown for above 15 touchdowns in that same time span.
And the Eagle and Philly still didn't love that nigga, B. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, years he was with Philly.
Wasn't
Wasn't super
there's
bad.
a lot more to it than just the stats. There's a lot of like Philly shit involved in it. That
Yeah, he's black.
no, Donovan could have done a lot of shit a lot
That's what
better,
it is.
and he
That's
left
what it is.
a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
He could have did a lot of shit better, but what he did do, he did it well and efficiently. So it's no reason why when you talk about a quarterback for Philadelphia, his name shouldn't be brought up number one all the time, bro.
No,
Even
it
if he
probably.
didn't
Well, you know what? Randall
Probably
Cunningham.
should.
Randall Cunningham was probably the best quarterback
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
Eagles.
That's a fact, Randall. Shout out to Randall Cunningham. Shout out to the
Yeah,
to the
nobody
culture.
in Philly is saying that Carson Wentz is the greatest Philadelphia Eagle quarterback ever.
Nah,
Not even
but they
close.
just wanted them to be.
They did.
Yeah, I can't forget about
Everybody, a
Vic.
lot of
Vic
people
was
wanted
also
him to
pretty
be.
solid for his time there. As far as Nick Foles go, so
That nigga Johnny Manziel without the drugs. Get him out of here.
if we talk about Nick Foles, for his career with Philly, about 60% completion on his passes,
60.
2,000 yards, maybe a 3,000 a year in 2013. 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions one year, and 13 touchdowns to 10 picks another year. So he had a pretty rocky kind of
Second year.
beginning years with Philly, and then his last 2 years back, he was a backup, so it's not really much to go on. But yeah, I mean, it's not really the greatest career. Like he has 81 touchdowns compared to 43 interceptions and 13,000 yards. He just really never found his groove.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot of that shit being benched. And you know, he was a backup. But the great thing about Nick Foles is he had a fucking a moment, and that moment led to a Super Bowl. And that's why he'll forever be one of the greatest backup quarterbacks for that moment. Shout out to Nick Foles. But yeah, Carson Wentz suck. He's over at Brokeneck Mountain now. And well, we'll see him next season. Probably injured. So but
Of the, but yeah, so that's that right there. I mean, nothing really crazy happened sports wise.
Feeling saucy, I'm feeling sturdy. I got a 4-piece, up in the 30. They tryna hold me, she like Curry. They feeling salty, I'm feeling sturdy.